on Hard Rock Cafe. I call it the Hard Rock effect. Okay, when you're looking at this on the screen, and I ask the question, how many of you have never heard of Hard Rock? So far in this country, I've never found anybody that doesn't know who a Hard Rock Cafe is. Okay, amazing. A lot of people have never been there, but they know who they are. And so the question becomes, how does a company like that get so much brand recognition? Is it their advertising? Nope, they don't do TV. What about radio? They don't do that either. Print media, pretty much non-existent, other than ads for Hard Rock Hotel and travel magazines. Okay, the reality is they've built their brand through one simple thing, through product sales, just like you see on the screen. Everywhere you go, you see a lot of Hard Rock apparel, and they don't just do apparel. They do a whole lot of other items too. In fact, a lot of people think that Hard Rock is a restaurant that sells, souvenir products. The reality is Hard Rock is a t-shirt shop that sells hamburgers, okay? Because a big part of their business model is about selling branded products, okay? And they make a lot of money doing it. Now, I realize that, and I realize something else, that the person that's wearing something from Hard Rock paid for that item. And what they did was they didn't just pay for the item, they paid for the right to advertise for Hard Rock. Okay, now you think about the power of that, to have your customers pay you to advertise for you. And that became an angle. When I go into certain businesses, it doesn't work with all, but I live, again, coastal North Carolina. We have a lot of tourism around here. And when I start going into tourist-oriented businesses, ones that can sell products, not gifts, sell products with their business name and some kind of image on there, the first thing that I say to that customer is, how would you like it if I could show you a way to have your customers pay you to advertise for you? Now, that gets my customers' attention really fast, okay, because they realize the power of this. It doesn't have to be Hard Rock. Let me tell you what. I've done literally probably hundreds of tackle shops where we go in and can put together, in this case, apparel sells very good with tackle shops. But we can do, apparel printing where we're putting the image of a fish. Think Guy Harvey. Okay, we're putting the image of a fish, and then Joe's Tackle Shop. And what's happening is the guy that comes in Joe's Tackle Shop is buying it because of the fish, not because of Joe. But when they're wearing it, Joe is getting all the advertising and promotion, and the client paid them to do that. Same thing that Hard Rock does. Hard Rock really puts in really neat graphics and then throws their name on there, and then they also throw in this name drop. Okay, so the person that bought that shirt, they bought it because it said Orlando and has a cool graphic. But Hard Rock gets all the exposure. Excellent, excellent type of approach. And that's the type of thing you want to do with advertising, is give people compelling reasons to buy that advertising from you. Okay, next question. What is this? Looks like a coffee mug. And you might say, hey, that's advertising for like New York. Well, that's good. That's a good answer. It means you're on the right track. But really, this is what we call Souvenir. And this is another hot marketplace. As I've indicated, I've done a lot with souvenirs. And souvenirs is a lot of psychology. You see, everything about sales is psychology. Everything about sales is about positioning and packaging your products, okay, the right way. And it's not just about, hey, a sublimated coffee mug would look really good in your gift store. It's about producing items that the tourist is going to come in and buy from that shop owner. And that means you got to understand why the tourist is actually buying it to begin with if you want to sell souvenirs. They buy them for two reasons. They buy them because they want to be able to say, been there, done that, and because they look cool. Been there, done that's the most important part of all. So the reality is, when you sell a successful souvenir item, is it actually needs to promote where that person's been that's going to buy it. And you can see that 4 of the 5 up here meet the criteria. We see Ohio. We see Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville, Key West in small letters, but there it is. We see New York, and we see this zoo over here, all right? Well, we don't see it up here on the top left, and I did that on purpose. Nice sublimated plaque, but they didn't put in the location. Now, that happens to Cape Hatteras Lighthouse in North Carolina, where I live. I know the location well, but it should have said North Carolina or Cape Hatteras or something, okay? So that kind of bombs as a souvenir product. These over here work very well. Neat thing about the souvenir industry is that you really go out and sell your own designs. You get a graphic artist to create things unique for you, and you go out and sell those, and nobody else has them. And you're really selling as much on the value of the design as the value of the product itself, because it's the message that the tourist is buying. Okay, very important aspect to know there. There we go again, back to that Hard Rock. Okay, because the reality here is, yeah, it's advertising, but it's also a souvenir. And what they did was they created a souvenir that advertises for them. And that's something you can use for anybody that sells souvenirs. I mean, think about it. Even a special event, people buy souvenir products. There's plenty of special events that sell items with the event name on it, okay? So, it kind of falls into that same category. All right, let's switch gears, go into a little different marketplace. What's this? Looks like a license plate. Happens to be a sublimated license plate, if that really matters. And it has some school stuff on there. Well, we use a really key word like spirit products, okay? This is back to Marketing 101. Part of when you go out to sell, you're always going to run up about the pricing issue. I mean, you want to sell it for as much as you can. The customer wants to buy it for as low as they can. So you guys are at odds already. And the key in the world of pricing is how to define the value. And through your marketing efforts, if you're able to raise the perceived value of what it is you're selling, the people are more willing to pay your price. So that's an important thing. From the moment you start marketing and promoting your products and services, you need to do it with the goal of raising the perceived value of the item you're offering to the highest possible level. Because if people perceive that there in the middle as being a license plate, they probably don't put a whole lot of value in it, okay? But on the other hand, when it becomes a spirit product where it enables them to promote their favorite team or support their school or to kind of, push a message out there that, we are the mighty warriors, the value is starting to go up, by virtue of what it is, okay? Besides the fact that maybe it's a nice metal license plate that's been sublimated, it's not going to chip or peel all that easy and has a beautiful image, okay? The reality becomes what's it doing for that customer. And that's why we use terminology like spirit products, because spirit products we're able to categorize and package what it is we're selling and also add a little bit of perceived value to it along the way. And let me tell you what, the spirit world, big money. Because this is a great way, if you want to go approach the schools, remember the schools don't have a lot of money, approach the booster organizations, the band boosters, athletic boosters, PTA. These are people who conduct something called fundraisers, which is another important word in the world of marketing for the spirit or school marketplace, okay? Because these people are all looking for ways to raise more money. And a great way to do it is for them to sell spirit products. You produce, they sell. And, I can do a whole webinar on just going in and putting together a spirit program. But bottom line is, when you're using sublimated products like some of the ones you see on the screen, you're opening the doors to some new things because everybody's out there fundraising. And a lot of schools in any one city are selling the exact same things head to head. Okay? And that's one of my approaches. When I go into a booster organization, I launch in to say, listen, are you guys tired of the same old when it comes to fundraising? Cookie dough, pizza dough, magazine subscriptions, candles, all kinds of things that people really don't want, okay? Has it gotten so bad that when the kids go out in the neighborhood, the neighbors turn out the lights and close the blinds because they don't want anybody come knocking on the door again? Isn't it time to find something new, different, unique? And this is great because using spirit products, that school organization can customize their own line of things to sell that's not against everybody else. Around here, attraction books where they sell discounts to restaurants and stuff. Every school, we got a lot of them here, sells the same blasted things. They're all going head to head. I get 5 kids from 5 different schools in one day knocking on the door. Here, something totally different. Something to think about. Big marketplace. Okay, what is this? It's a t-shirt with a deer on it. That's obvious. Okay, this is an example of making a statement, and this is what people want to do. I mean, this is kind of what a souvenir is. When you look at the souvenir marketplace, people want to say, been there, done that. But people make a statement about their life, their lifestyles, their likes, their dislikes, okay? You can see plenty of political shirts where it's an anti-political message or some kind, right? But, here we got a club, and clubs are a great place to go sell, customized products too. And here, you see a t-shirt, it's got the deer on there, it's a hunting club, and I could probably sell a lot of these to Willow Lake Hunting Club. But I always like to go a little deeper and add in something a little bit more fascinating, because remember, people want to make a statement. Right here it says I shoot deer. Right here becomes more of a lifestyle statement, okay? Because I took it to another level. Instead of just saying the name of the club, we put together a whole graphics. And, some of you may not like the message here with the empty beer bottles, but you know what? If that club, if that's what they like, okay, you're going to sell a lot more shirts to those club members when you start putting these lifestyle statement kind of messages on there. And this is huge, because this opens the door for you to start creating your own line of products. Just something to think about, and we start talking about the poly performance sweats and whatnot. Great for a hunting club because it becomes sort of a year-round type of apparel with the moisture wicking performance capabilities. Okay, next item here, what is this? Well, it says exactly what it is. It's a pet rock. What's that got to do with sublimation? Pretty much nothing. But here's what it is. It's proved that people buy just about anything if it's packaged creatively. And what I mean here is I don't mean the box. Box is good. Don't get me wrong. I'm talking about how did somebody take a rock and turn it into a multi-million-dollar must-have type of product, okay? Yeah, they polished it up, made it pretty. But other than that, it's a rock. What they did was through their marketing and messaging, they presented this to people. They packaged it and presented it as the ultimate pet. Okay, it doesn't have to go to the vet. You don't have to feed it. Doesn't mess up the carpet. Don't have to take it out for walks. It doesn't bark. It doesn't bite. Okay, and when you're tired of it, you can discard it. Okay, think about that. Yeah, sure, they went and added all these other accessories and stuff, but that's what they really did. They packaged that in such a way that people are willing to dish out money, perfectly good money, for a rock to put on a shelf that does nothing but sit there. That's pretty amazing. And that's why I like to use that as an example of what you want to go out there and do every day. You want to take the ordinary and turn it into the extraordinary, and how you position it, how you talk about it is huge. Sublimation will do the job as far as creation, but the trick is for you to define it and take it to a higher level. As I said before, perception is reality. It's only worth what someone will pay for it. Therefore, you got to work on increasing the perceived value in everything you do to get the highest possible margin. You can't just assign a margin and expect people to pay for it. You have to produce it and deliver it in such a way that people say, wow, that's a great deal. That photo panel, $35, great deal. Yeah, it only cost you $5. But, that's what you want to do. Part of that, and this is where sublimation really plays a big part, is the picture aspect. Because as they say, a picture's worth 1,000 words. I like to say it's worth a fistful of dollars too, okay? Your goal, turning ordinary into extraordinary. Sublimation, great way to do it. And don't fall in the rut that because you know what it costs to produce, you know how low it costs to produce, you know the true cost of what you're selling. A lot of times you tend to underprice because in the back of your head, you're working with such a low ball figure anyway, okay? I mean, when you look at a mouse pad, just like you see on the screen, it hadn't been sublimated, it's a piece of white neoprene, okay? At least the surface is white. Wow. I mean, you can dump some ink on there, or in this case, dye. And, that's just kind of boring. But the reality is you're going to turn it into a masterpiece, and you want to think beyond the blank product, okay? You want to think beyond the value of what it is that you create. Now, this is one of my favorite items. Well, I've recreated this based on a concept, a real concept. The real mouse pad that this is based on was a pizza delivery firm, but rather than running into some copyright issues, I've created a sample one for you to sample, okay? Now here we have a mouse pad, a mundane, boring mouse pad, and what we've done is we've turned it into an extraordinary promotional product piece, because what we have here is Sally Ann's is a delivery service, okay? And obviously she caters to the meat and potatoes crowd because she's got this big juicy burger here on this mouse pad. So you got the burger, and you can't see it, but this is the delivery menu over here. This is the express delivery menu. Here's the contact information. So delivery menu with pricing, contact information, everything's right there that you need to know to order this. And, keeping that in mind, what happens is Sally Ann's starts giving these out to customers and potential customers. It's a useful product, okay? Being a useful product, a mouse pad, it's situated right next to somebody's computer all day long, and what are they doing? Staring at that juicy burger. Now, if you're a vegetarian, that probably is a turnoff, okay? But for a lot of other people, They're staring at it. It makes them hungry. There's the menu at their fingertips. Here's the phone number. Bam. This is a revenue generating